for this storm. New severe thunderstorm warning is coming out on this storm as well. But this is where we would see the tornado. Let me see what this news. It's a new severe thunderstorm warning. For the storm that's back towards the west. So that's where the line of storms coming in through Mountain Home right now. That's putting down some hail and high winds. The tornado warning now that continues in effect for the storm that's over Salem at this time. So tornado warning continues for central Fulton County until 5:15. Winds inside the storm, you can still see we do have air rotation. It's hard to tell up here because we're so far away from any of the radars, but we do have rotation inside this storm. The National Weather Service office in Little Rock will continue with the tornado warning with this storm, and I would not be surprised if it's extended over into Sharp County, especially the northern sides of Sharp County from Ash Flat and Hardy and Cherokee Village north, back through the point, and then back over into parts of Randolph. There's the new tornado warning. Does not include Hardy. It looks like the storm's going to move to the north of Hardy and Ash Flat, more of a northeasterly track, but a new tornado warning in effect for eastern Fulton County, northern parts of Sharp County, that northern point of Sharp County, and a very small slither of Randolph County. This is a very small slither. Does not include much of anywhere. It doesn't include Pocahontas, does not include Maynard, does not include Biggers or Raven Springs or anything like that. We do have that severe thunder for extreme northeastern parts of Randolph County. We'll zoom back in to this area. The storm still strong rotation. Relatively strong rotation near Salem this morning. Moving now through town, back now toward the north sides of town as you head back up Highway 9. So I want everybody that lives along Highway 9 back up to Mammoth Spring, and then along Highway 395 up to back up towards the Missouri state line this morning, to be in your tornado safe spot as we continue to watch this storm move on through. So Salem to the north, Camp Fryat. Let's go ahead and take a look at the roads. Republican Road, Walking Stick Road need to be in your tornado safe spot. If you live along South Camp Creek Road, Highway 395, Old J.H. Farm Trail, you are in the path of this possible tornado as well. And eventually up to Mammoth Spring, you'll be in the path of this tornado as well. This storm continues to move off towards the north and east. Still has a pronounced hook on it. Still has rotation with it. And it's slowed down just a little bit. It's kind of just stalled right over Salem, truly, but it's starting to make a trek off towards the north and towards the east at about 40 miles per hour. We'll zoom out and do a quick storm track on that. You're probably hearing some loud storms coming in Mountain Home, some hail. That's just that's high winds and hail with that now. No tornado threat in Mountain Home at this time. So this is moving off towards the north and east at about 40 miles per hour. So Camp at 519, 527 in Fayette Thayer at 538, Jeff at 538 in Thayer, 548 in Jeff, and 553 in Counce. So once you get to Thayer, Jeff, and Counce, you're now into Oregon County. No tornado warning in effect for Oregon County. There's a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Oregon County right now. But go ahead if you live in Thayer, if you live in Counce, if you live in Myrtle, to be in your tornado safe spot. Chief Meteorologist Ryan Vaughn is joining us here in just a second. He is live at home. He'll be with us here in just 1 second. Tornado warning, though, continues for Baxter and Fulton County. A new tornado warning now is in effect. So this is for a storm that has the high winds and hail. They've gone ahead and now issued a tornado warning. This is for western Fulton and northeastern Baxter County. Tornado threat now coming back up on that line. It was just a strong straight line, strong area straight line winds just a second ago. So put back on the winds, and this is going to be for this storm that's over Mountain Home now. So this will be along Lake Norfolk. So Mountain Home out to Henderson. We have a new tornado warning for this storm. Very strong winds, possible area of rotation coming through Mountain Home right now. But if anything, strong winds coming through Mountain Home to Henderson. That's going to head down Highway 412 back towards Vidette. So we got this area for our friends that are out at the lakes this morning. This is on the north side of Mountain Home. Back out towards Henderson, back out toward towards Lake Norfolk and Henderson. If you live anywhere from, say, County Road 30 and 390 back to the east, Mallard Point Road, County Road 988 there in Baxter County, Christensen Road, Robinson Point Road, out there along the highway along the bridge that goes over Lake Norfolk. That's where we see the tornado. This is for storm capable of producing a tornado near Gamelia Landing or 8 miles east of Mountain Home. So this is a fast mover along the leading edge of that line of thunderstorms. It's now over Henderson. That area of rotation would now be over Henderson. So this is where we're looking with this, with possible tornado over Lake Norfolk and Henderson right now along Highway 412. So, Henderson, Robinson Point Road, Middle Vista Place, Wilderness Point Road, that's where we're seeing that area of strong rotation now, moving across Lake Norfolk and now moving over through Henderson and out into the areas of western Baxter County. We continue with that. We have that new tornado warning there. We also have a tornado warning that's out continuing for central Fulton County for a storm that's near Salem, that's now to the north of Salem, it looks like, moving back out towards Mammoth Spring and Thayer. Here's the area of rotation right here, broad rotation at this time, but still rotation out to now east of Salem and moving out towards Highway 289. That's Chief Meteorologist Ryan Vaughn joining us right now, and he is from his home office this morning. Ryan?
I tell you, we got our hands full this morning, Castleberry. I have family up in Mountain Home right now, and I'm not sure how much you have heard there in the Weather Center, but it looks like they were hit possibly with a tornado there. And now they're dealing with another storm coming in, which you were just now telling about, with rotation coming through right around the Henderson area. So if we're on Max 2 right now, I've got pulled up both tornado warnings side by side. You've got the one that's over around Salem. You've got the severe thunderstorm warning back to the west and the second tornado warning now. And these second tornado warnings always scare me a lot because there's a lot of people out and about in Baxter County assessing the damage that just now happened from the storm that is now over in Salem. Now, as you were just now pointing out a little bit ago, we still have this hook right through here that has just passed through Salem. You got the inflow notch coming in on this storm, so it is still showing signs that it could still have a tornado there in the Salem area. And this thing's really far away from the radar site, but if you look at the velocity data on it, it still is showing pretty good area of rotation to the north of Highway 412, in between 412 and Highway 9 right now. So we've got that situation right now from the first storm and the tornado warning that's coming through. And this thing has a history going all the way back to Tulsa, Oklahoma, of putting down a large tornado. You go back to the west where people are cleaning up or at least assessing the damage from that one. And you've got more rotation crossing over Lake Norfolk right now. This is going to be crossing very close to the Henderson community And really, when you're this far away from the radar, it's really tough to even zoom all the way down to street level and pinpoint where that rotation is right now. But it's moving across the lake right now. Now, assessing whether it's north of the bridge or south of the bridge, or that it's even on the ground right now, is extremely difficult. So anywhere along Lake Norfolk right now needs to be taking cover. Here's the problem. Looks like a lot of people are camping, and that's very scary. And I'm getting updates from people saying that it seems like some of the campgrounds were hit from the first storm. So we've got a very, very dangerous situation that's unfolding right now, where not only were we hit, not only are they assessing the damage, but another possible tornado is taking shape right now, possibly between Hand Cove Road, County Road 857. If I was anywhere through there up to 412 and even farther north along Highway 101, I'd be concerned right now. And this is moving to the east, so this is going to be moving along Highway 412. So if you're not getting hit pretty much right now, if you're in the Elizabeth community or the Gep community, you need to make sure you're taking cover now. County Road 134, Cedar Point Loop, that is for this second tornado warning that is in effect. The first tornado warning, we'll zoom back in, you can still see rotation there. Also really far away from the radar, so pinpointing exactly where the tornado is really, really kind of difficult and even dangerous, because I don't want people to get a false sense of security because, you know, if I zoom in and I show you that the rotation looks to be near, you know, Squirrel Hill Road or Fernwood Road or near the French community, anyone north or south of that may have this false insecurity that that it's passing south or to the north of them. Pretty much anywhere east of Salem in Fulton County, I'd be concerned, especially north of Highway 412 right now. So a lot of us are familiar with driving 412 from Ash Flat up to Salem, and that's this road right here. So it appears that the rotation is north of the highway and moving to the east. But like I said, we got to be really, excuse me, really careful with that, because you could get a false sense of security that it's passing away from you right now. So I want anybody in Fulton County to be in your tornado safe spot right now, with as many walls in between you and the outside that you possibly can, for that first one, but also for this one that is in Baxter County at Lake Norfolk, also moving to the east. So if you have family and friends that's up at Lake Norfolk, I know a lot of people right now are watching our live feed right now on their phones and on their tablets and computers. I think there's still some people up there with us on cable. You know, make sure that people know up there that there's an ongoing second possible tornado going on near Lake Henderson, and then we have the first area that hasn't let up any, that is still showing signs of rotation right through here. This is east of Salem, and it's moving east. So while on radar it looks like it's going to pass north of Ash Flat, I feel pretty confident in that. It looks like it's going to pass to the north of Hardy and Cherokee Village. It's so far away from the radar site that I don't, even if you're in Hardy and Cherokee Village, let's treat this one, because there's no harm in treating it like a tornado warning right now, even though officially it appears like you're going to pass to the north. I'm going to zoom in on a few locations real fast in the path of the first area of circulation. This looks like it's going to pass near the French community, near Saddle, near Baker Ford, near the King community. And if this holds together, it's going to be near the Woodland Hills community. And then probably, if it holds together, near Worth. If you're just south of that, though, even in Hardy and Cherokee Village, let's respectfully take cover for this storm passing to your north, just in case. Even though it looks like it's going to stay up here north through the Highway 289 area, the King community, and then 63 as you head north toward Worth and up toward Thayer. This thing's not showing any signs of weakening. Then we have the second area that's coming out of Baxter County and coming into the western parts of hitting the exact same areas. I mean, this is coming through the exact same spots that we've already been dealing with a possible tornado coming through. So it's near the Elizabeth community now, but it's going to be going near Viola, somewhere between Viola and Byron. That's why the entire area is under a tornado warning. To have as many walls in between you and the outside that you possibly can.
And for our
Aaron,
friends
check with the weather service.
And for our friends in southern parts of Oregon County, there's not a tornado warning for southern Oregon County, but I want everybody in Thayer to Myrtle to Couch to be in their tornado safe spot right now, because this storm is lifting to the north and east. It's starting to take a little bit of an easterly jog, which is never good. If it gets a little bit easterly jog, you really start to think of a tornado either in the formation phase, excuse me, or in the ongoing phase, and that would bring a possible tornado to Thayer, into Mammoth Spring, into Myrtle, into northern parts of Sharp County out towards Worth. So I want everybody in southern Oregon County. You're not under a tornado warning, so you may, and if you have friends and family who live in Thayer and Myrtle, if they live there and they're not under a tornado warning, so they did not get the alert on their phone of a tornado warning. There's a severe thunderstorm warning out for Oregon County, but there's not a tornado warning for Oregon County. So give them a call and let them know that there's a possible tornado just south of the state line and between Salem and Hardy out there. And the storm, to me, looks like it's, one, gaining strength, two, making an easterly jog, which may keep it south of Oregon County, but I don't want to play that game this morning. I want everybody in southern Oregon County to be in their tornado safe spot with that storm. And then stay there in Salem, because we're watching another possible tornado now moving into western Fulton County near Vidette, and that will move back towards Viola and come right down 412 towards Salem this morning. And if that one doesn't have a tornado, it will have some strong damaging winds with it along that line and some hail.
You know, we at this point, we've got to respect this storm that's coming through eastern Fulton County. As I said just a minute ago, correct me if I'm wrong, Aaron, this is the same storm that caused the tornado in North Tulsa, Oklahoma, isn't it?
I believe so. This storm has had a history of producing a tornado from Oklahoma through possibly Bentonville and Rogers, to west of Mountain Home, to now in Mountain Home and east of Mountain Home, and now possibly a tornado somewhere between Salem and Hardy there in eastern Fulton County. So this storm has had a history of producing a tornado for hours, for hundreds of miles this morning. Not a tornado on the ground for hundreds of miles, but up and down for hundreds of miles this morning across at least 2 states. And if it moves into Missouri, 3 states.
Yeah, I'm concerned with once the daylight comes on this storm, as looking back through the Mountain Home area, what kind of damage we're going to be seeing, because I think they're really busy right now dealing with the first storm, and then now getting the second storm coming through. It's almost that they're possibly too busy to get updates. I'm getting updates from people that I personally know. My son is up there right now, Aaron. So you know my oldest son is there, and he said that it was really bad. That was about 4:40 or so. That was really bad through there. I said, "Is there any damage around you?" He said, "We're not venturing out yet," which makes sense, especially with the second storm coming in. I've since told him to take cover again with this second storm, and I haven't heard back from him. I think he's fine, just judging by the location. But I think once some of these people start coming back out of taking shelter this second time when the daylight comes, we're going to start getting damage reports out there. And there's a lot of people camping there.
There's a lot of people that...
Back to the first tornado.
And there's a new tornado warning that's now in effect for central Fulton for that secondary storm that now includes Salem again. So there's a new tornado warning for Salem and Viola for that secondary storm as it moves to the east.
And that's hard to communicate, Aaron. You know, that's what I really want to stress right now is Salem, you're under a tornado warning again. So Aaron's been with you through this storm. Got another storm coming in. So, let's make sure that we're not, on the communication side, that we're not neglecting to know that there's another storm coming in. I'm speaking with people also. Okay, so I'm getting pictures now on sent to me of, at the very least, pretty bad tree damage near the Handover area in Baxter County. So we've at least got some extensive tree damage going through there from, I believe, the first storm is what that's going to be. So something happened up there. Weather Service is going to have to survey that damage. Something happened there. And I personally wouldn't be surprised at all if we don't have tornado damage. And that was for the first area of circulation that's now going through the eastern parts of Fulton County and now going into the northern tip there of Sharp County. I'm going to put a storm track. What was the speed on that, Aaron?
The original speed was 50, but that storm has slowed down a little bit. I think it's more about 35 to 40. I'd say about 40 miles per hour.
Let me put. The storm path expands out as it does because this could go, as Aaron was saying just a little bit ago, veer more to the east or more to the north. So that's going to have it near Minnie Allen's at about 5:30. King Community at 5:31, Armstrong at 5:49, Dalton area at 6:05, and Hamill at 6:12 if that continues to hold together.
And there's probably a lot of people, especially at Minnie Islands this morning, camping, getting ready to float the river, floated the river yesterday. So if you know anybody at Minnie Islands, let them. There's not a lot of areas to take cover, but there are some bathhouses, some bathrooms there that they can at least try to shelter themselves from the storm as it moves across across the Spring River there in Fulton County. A lot of people know where Minnie Islands is. A lot of people have floated the river near Minnie Islands. So, and that's a popular camping ground for people to get on and off the river at. So.
And it looks like it's crossing the Spring River right now. So, I mean, time is now. If you're watching us on the live feed on your phone at a campground, now is the time to try to find some shelter. This is crossing over Highway 63 shortly, heading up toward Highway 175. Now, as I said just a little bit ago, I don't want to give Hardy and Cherokee Village the all clear. It looks like it's passing to your north, but let's pay close attention. If I was in Hardy, personally, I'd still be taking cover, not only because that's passing to my north, but also you're going to have some strong winds coming in on that also. So that's the first area of circulation. And just we just have a big, broad area of wind on this second storm. Even if, as we learned in Jonesboro last Wednesday, you don't have to have a tornado to have some problems. This looks like some strong wind, whether you have a tornado or not, from Viola all the way down into Izard County. And this is rough. We've got people coming out trying to look at the damage from what just happened. And now we've got probably 70 mile per hour winds, if not a tornado, coming down 412, hitting some of the exact same locations. Now, if we're on Max 2 right now, you can clearly see the strong winds all through here right now. In fact, they just now expanded this severe thunderstorm warning right here for the wind alone. It's just a huge area of wind. And then the possible tornado sitting up here. And Castleberry, it looks like we just now got a new tornado warning for the areas you were talking about in Missouri.
Yeah, I just hopped in the chat and they were drawing that up now, but there is now a new tornado warning for southeastern Oregon County. This does include Thayer, Myrtle, Couch, Job, Jeff, all the way to the Oregon Ripley County line. And the warning kind of looks funny. The Weather Service office in Little Rock has the warning coverage area for Randolph County, and the warning for the Little Rock office doesn't quite go all the way north of Dalton. But go ahead, if you live in Dalton and north, go ahead and take your tornado safe spot. Tornado warning probably come out soon for that. And then it kind of cuts off abruptly there at Ripley County. We're fixing to cross from the Springfield office to the Paducah office as you go out of Oregon County into Ripley County. So this holds together. This storm will move into to Ripley County, and for our friends in Gatewood and Doniphan, you will need to be thinking about your tornado safe spot here in the next, say, 35 to 40 minutes if this storm holds together. And there's really nothing that tells me that this storm's not going to at least maintain some strength as it moves across the state line.
I agree, Aaron. I mean, this thing has given us no reason to think it's going to weaken. In fact, a new radar scan just now came in, and what I'll do is I will kind of scoop this storm track over a little bit, kind of pinpoint where it is as far as velocity is concerned from the radar site where it is. There's your times of arrival: Jeff at 5:51, Myrtle at 6:01, Job at 6:06. The Calm community, ironically, 6:12 this morning, and that would roughly kind of take it to the Ripley County line at that point. But this thing's really, it's still not showing any signs of weakening. It's far away from the radar site, but if you notice, there's still something crossing the Spring River right now at Highway 289 that looks concerning. It's right there, and that's why they have issued the downstream tornado warning for this. Still showing signs of rotation as it continues to move through. And then I mentioned this just a little bit ago, but they expanded the severe thunderstorm warning. As you notice here is a huge severe thunderstorm warning. It goes all the way down to Stone County, and that is for the entire storm that's coming through. If you look at what we typically show you to show you where it's raining, you see the tornado warned storm up here. See the tornado warned storm up here. That's the first one. The second one's kind of sitting here east of Salem, but this entire line through here has some really high wind, and that's marching down to the southeast. So that's why they issued this big severe thunderstorm warning, smaller tornado warning, because huge area of rain, but smaller confined areas of possible tornado winds that are coming through right now. Well, it's just a patchwork of warnings up there right now. So kind of hard to communicate that to everyone. So still watching two possible areas and then a large area of high wind. I'm still seeing that rotation there. That's passing really close to Many Islands, isn't it?
That is, it's either right over or just to the north of Many Islands, and so that is
I hate that.
A very, very well known, and I don't want to say populated, but it's populated at this time of year. We're in
It's
Memorial
a
Day
vulnerable
weekend
time right now.
It's Memorial Day weekend. There's
it's a vulnerable
many
time.
people up there at Many Islands. There's many people across the entire, just anywhere where we have bodies of water or campsites this morning. And once that storm passes,
Golly.
we have a strong storm still that's just to the west of them coming into Salem now. If not a tornado in Salem, very strong winds in Salem with some hail on the north sides of town as you head back up towards the Fulton County line, the Missouri-Arkansas state line, and that continues to move off towards the east. So anywhere from
we're far
Mammoth
away from the
Spring
radar
to north of Hardy, that's where you need to be in your tornado safe spot at this time.
This is good. There's Worth right there. This is coming right at Worth now. If you are in Worth, you have time to take cover. It's about to cross over Highway 63, Union Hill Road, County Road 86, West Worth Road, Pleasant Run Road. It's coming right into the Worth community. So if you live in and around Worth, you need to be taking cover now. And man, that is scary to look at. This is far away from the radar site to everyone at home, but it's crossing right over the King community, right near Many Springs. I mean, that's Many Springs Road right there coming through. And we're kind of going back and forth between several radar sites, so that's why you see it changing colors there. And really, I'm really just moving it around like this to try to figure out which radar has the best pinpoint, and to see if the radars are matching up. And pretty much anywhere from Woodland Hills up to the state, up to Mammoth Spring, needs to be in there. The time is now, so you have to be in your safe spot now. Worth, you still have time to take cover. Jeff, Myrtle, those are the places that you have time to take cover right now. And really, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Aaron, but I think what they're going to have to do also, the Weather Service is probably going to have to put a little sliver of a tornado warning right there in Randolph County.
They're going to have to, because this storm is not letting up, and even the Weather Service office in Paducah, who's watching this storm from their radar in Paducah, they're seeing strong rotation on this storm in Fulton County all the way at the Paducah radar. So any radar that is close enough to pinpoint where this storm is picking up strong rotation. That's not good news. There's possibly a tornado either on the ground or could drop at any time across northern, eastern Fulton, northern Sharp, and eventually northern Randolph County. And I want everybody from Dalton.
There it is. There's the new tornado warning.
For Randolph County?
Yep, it's good. And they're going to include...
They're
going to include a pretty big swath of Randolph County just to encompass everything. And that's a smart move on their part because, as you know, Aaron, if this thing really starts tightening up, it'll start right hooking instead of going straight northeast. It might start moving more eastward.
And if you put the radar in loop now, you can actually see that. You can see that it is starting to make that right turn. And you can see it from about, it started just to the east of Salem. Now it's kind of making that right turn right there along the state line. So this goes all the way to almost Maynard and just to the north of Pocahontas, this new tornado warning does. So if you live in northern Randolph County, Dalton, Warm Springs, Maynard, the north side to the north of Pocahontas, not by much. If you take the highway back up from Highway 93 back up towards Dalton, that's where the tornado warning is, and then eventually this will move. Probably a new warning will need to come out for Ripley County. That's if this line of storms off to the west does not catch up to this storm. It's starting, that line off towards the west is starting to catch up to this storm, which should start to weaken it. But we're in an environment where it could keep at least a tornado warning with it as that line of storms pushes off towards the east, because of just the embedded rotation within the storm.
I tell you, I don't mean to be dramatic or whatever right now, or I'm not hyping anything up. I am gravely concerned with Many Springs right now. Very, very, very concerned with the Worth community. And then I'm also very, very concerned with Salem. Salem has already been hit once. They're out looking and assessing damage, and that's tightening up. I don't know if you noticed this also, Aaron, but this is tightening up right there on Salem. So you've got this second area that is coming through right now. And I hate when somebody's assessing damage from one area, then another one is coming in. Hopefully they haven't let their guard down going out and looking at what just occurred, and then you get hit by another storm. Just seeing both of these storms side by side right now, especially with so many people camping right now for the holiday weekend, it's I really hope this thing is not on the ground in Many Springs right now, because that would be absolutely devastating coming in. Worth community, you need to make sure you take cover right now.
Worth to Dalton to Warm Springs, Myrtle, Thayer, Mammoth Spring. It looks like it should stay south of Thayer and Mammoth Spring, but still, if you're in Mammoth Spring, you need to be in your tornado safe spot, especially if you have a Mammoth Spring address between Mammoth Spring and Hardy. They're on Highway 63. This is what we're looking at right here. Here's Worth Road. That Worth is right here in northern Sharp County. This is fixing to cross out of Fulton County into northern Sharp County, along Highway 175. Eventually, this moves into northern Randolph County. There's Jeff Myrtle. There's Thayer. I think we can call the all clear for Thayer. That storm should stay down to the south of Thayer. Mammoth Spring, stay in your safe spot for the next couple of minutes. This storm should be off to your east here in just a couple of minutes or so. If you're in Worth, you need to be in your tornado safe spot. If you live anywhere north of Hardy in Sharp County, in that northern tip of Sharp County, and then as you head over into Randolph County, this is rural area. but there are people who live out here. There are people who may be staying out here, roughing it out here in some of these hills out here. If you're in Myrtle, Jeff, Dalton, Dials Creek Road, that's the road off of Highway 467, Upper James Creek Road, you're in this tornado warning. Worth Road, you're in this tornado warning this morning. With the area of rotation, just real close to the county line. If County Road 284 in Fulton County means anything to you, Ivy Trail, County Road 86 in Sharp County, Highway 175, Worth, Cave Creek Road, if that means anything to you, you need to be in your tornado safe spot. The storm is now east of the Spring River, so if you are west of the Spring River, you are fine for this storm. Next storm is over towards Salem. We don't need to forget about that storm either, so I want to go into that storm. If you do not have a tornado in Salem, or just come through Salem, you got some very strong winds coming down Highway 412 and Highway 9 this morning, pushing to the east, and this is going to move over towards Hardy and Cherokee Village before too long. If not a tornado, very strong winds, but don't even let that fool you. Strong winds could cause a tornado, and there's looks like a new tornado warning that's now in effect that does include Hardy, Cherokee Village, and really from Mammoth Spring all the way down Highway 63 to Williford this morning. So that's for this storm. That's between Salem and Hardy right now. New tornado warning now for eastern Fulton County, northern and western parts of Sharp County, and a very small slither of Randolph County, but really eastern Fulton from Salem all the way to the east to the county line with Sharp County. Northern Sharp County, you're under a new tornado warning. This includes Highland, Cherokee Village, Hardy, Worth, which is dealing with a tornado possible right now, back to the Spring River. So you've got this secondary storm that's moving in. Now, if you are west of Salem, back towards Viola, the tornado warning, you are cleared from that tornado warning. That warning probably dropped before too long, even that original warning that's still in effect for Mountain Home. But our new concern is anywhere from Salem to Hardy, back to Worth. And Worth, you're dealing with it right now because we have that storm that's in the northern part of Sharp County, continuing with that storm. And then the secondary storm, the second storm, not the secondary, but the second storm that's off towards Salem right now. We have 2 tornado warnings, 2 possible tornadoes coming on the heels of each other by about 15 to 20 minutes. So if you live anywhere, if you're in Hardy, Highland, Cherokee Village right now, get to your safe spot. We heard from the Hardy Police Chief a little while ago that the old gym in Hardy, there behind Cast Saber, is open as a shelter to the public. If you need a public shelter, that is open. You have a couple of minutes to get there, but you don't have much more time with this storm that's moving toward the east at, how fast is this storm moving? At 60 miles per hour.
40
so
miles per hour to 60.
It's now, I might have read that wrong. Yeah, no, it's moving to the east at 60.
I'll look it up. You keep going. It's moving at 60.
Looking at 60, so.
You know, as you were saying just a little bit ago, you were saying talking about how it looked like it was catching up to that storm, and it does. It's already, the circulation's already gone through the Salem area. It's moving on north of 412. But like you pointed out, it's kind of pushing more southeastward than the first area of circulation was. So that does put Cherokee Village and Hardy in the path of circulation.
Let's go back
really,
to Max.
the severe thunderstorm warning.
One right here. I do have a storm track I want to get to just real quick. So, and then we'll get back to you, Ryan. But I want to go Ash Flat 547. No, it's coming into Ash Flat now. At least the edge of the storm, the leading edge of the winds are coming into Ash Flat. Cherokee Village 551. I've got this on the leading edge of the winds, not the actual circulation, but the leading edge of the winds, because the circulation, the winds, is wind. It's going to it's going to cause about just as much damage with the winds if you do with the circulation. Sellers Store at 558, 6 o'clock in Williford, 606 in Ravenden, 611 in Imboden. And if this holds together, it's in Pocahontas by 621 and College City and Walnut Ridge by 626, Ryan.
Well, I'll tell you what I was doing. I was looking at if you go back to Max 2, I'm looking at debris detection and just backing up all the way to an hour ago, just to kind of see what we had going. And there were some, this is so far away from the radar site, but there were some signs of possibly having some debris with this storm at a couple of points in Mountain Home. Let me kind of readjust this just a little bit. At Mountain Home, and also kind of as it was coming out of Salem also. So if you notice, you got to look close, but there's a little area right here that I want you to follow as I move this through time, and you can see it cross over 289 and then move all the way. It kind of moves right through here. So I'm going to clear that off of here so you can look at it. But there was a little area that kind of came from Salem right there, and then appears to have had something still on the ground through eastern parts of Fulton County and then on into the northern parts of Sharp County. So I hope that's not the case. If you're just now joining us, this very strong area of rotation, and this is showing you radar right now, just went over the Mini Springs area from the first area of rotation. Then we got the second line that's coming in, kind of coming in and meshing with that first storm. Eventually, that could help us out and snuff out the circulation. But even this line of storms that's coming through that has the severe thunderstorm warning in Melbourne and to Ash Flat, that's still putting down some really, really strong wind that's going to come into Evening Shade and Cave City and eventually down into Lawrence County. But it hasn't snuffed this out yet. This thing is still showing signs of rotation at a couple of points. We've still got the first area that's going through the northern parts of Sharp County near Worth, and then you've got this second area that's kind of gusting out a little bit. I don't know if you agree with me on that, Aaron, but it kind of looks like it's gusting out. Not enough to where I want anybody to not take their tornado safe spot. If there's still some kind of rotation, it's still just to the west of Cherokee Village, north of Ash Flat. But we're really starting to see some strong winds come in back behind this, not really looking like tornado winds, but enough that's going to cause some damage regardless, that I'm a little concerned about outside of the tornado warning also. So
I've got a weather camera
rotation
in Hardy that's...
Oh, good call.
We got that. I've got that pointed to the west. We take Max 1 right quick. You can see we don't have the luxury of the sun looking off towards the west. We got lightning. I'm not seeing too much of a lowering, but it's still a lot of lightning out there this morning, and I'm keeping an eye on this camera just in case, because this will, at least we will see the storm come in from the west with this storm from this Hardy camera, unless we lose power to it.
You talk about the sun. I think as soon as we see the sun come up, we're probably going to get a lot of damage reports coming in out of Baxter, Fulton, and probably northern Sharp County. Now, we're looking at over 9,000 without power in Baxter County. Most of Mountain Home has no power right now, so if they're watching us on their phone. And they're still sending, I still have people up there sending me text messages asking if we're all clear in Mountain Home, and you are. I just as much want to give people an all clear as they take cover, because I know a lot of people just went through a really bad storm. If you look up there in Mountain Home, everything's moved to your east now, and there were a lot of people in RVs. I heard somebody from Salesville say that they have lots of damage there. Made the comment that trees are down in every direction. Just getting a report from somebody that circulation up around Worth is right on top of them right now, so I should, or their family, so I may get a report out of that here shortly also. But that possible tornado is moving right through northern Sharp County, about to move into Randolph County. So we're so far away from radar. While it may look like it's passing south of Worth, we are so far away from radar that it's very difficult to get down to street level like this and to pinpoint exactly where the possible tornado is. So we'll take that with a grain of salt. It's somewhere around Worth right now, and it's crossing into Randolph County.
And a new severe thunderstorm warning is now in effect all the way through Randolph and northern Lawrence County and northern Sharp County for that line of storms. It's the Weather Service continues with that warning with 60-mile-per-hour winds, quarter-size hail, and that now includes Pocahontas and Walnut Ridge. So, with the possibility at any time that this storm could spin up another tornado. So just keep in mind, if you live in that severe thunderstorm warning, that I think at any time along the leading edge we can get a quick spin up tornado along the edge, plus some strong damaging winds.
Yeah, because we're now transitioning from that one supercell that's had the rotation all the way back in Oklahoma to almost more of a linear line here, and that's why they went with that severe thunderstorm warning, as Aaron's talking about. That's until 6:45, so this thing's going almost an hour just to give Pocahontas and Hoxie and Walnut Ridge heads up that this storm's coming through. It means business. It's got some intense lightning with it, and it's got some wind with it, regardless of if it's tornado wind or not. There's the movement on it right now, and you can see it's moving down to the southeast. Got a lot of lightning with it also. Let me take the lightning off there just so you can get an idea of the movement of the storm. In fact, let me take everything off of there, and you can just kind of get an idea of the storm movement. So we've got a possible tornado coming out of northern Sharp County going into the northwestern parts of Randolph County, but you got this big blob of storms coming from Fulton County down into Izard, into southern Baxter County. That's just really packing a punch with a lot of wind right now, and probably some hail also. If you look at that storm, it does show signs of some hail with it also.
And one thing just to keep in mind, this is round one for today. We have another round of thunderstorms that will move in later on this evening, and it will move across basically the same areas, right along the first few rows of counties in Arkansas and South Missouri. And those could be just as strong tonight as they are today. So once these move out, we'll have a pretty good rest of your good middle part of the day. But as you head into this evening and into the early overnight hours, we'll deal with another round of thunderstorms that will pass through mainly the same areas, may impact the same towns again as we're seeing those storms impact us this morning. So we still continue with a tornado warning. This is for northern Sharp County, northern parts of Randolph, northwestern Randolph County. For the most part, I think Oregon County, we are almost pretty good, especially if you live north of the state highway there. I'm blanking. Highway 142. So if you live up north of 142, the tornado threat is low for Joe back up to Highway 160. The tornado threat continues down south in through northern Randolph County. Still have the inflow notch there near just to the west of Dalton. Still have that area of rotation west of Dalton. No debris, but still we have that area of rotation that's kind of just straddling the state line. So from Myrtle to the south, that's where we're going to see the area of rotation go across Highway 193. And then eventually as you head back over towards Warm Springs and eventually Maynard. So, and even with this storm getting absorbed into the line, it's getting absorbed to the northern part of the line. So we may keep with at least some twist in the atmosphere with this storm for a little bit longer before it transitions to straight line wind threat. But just looking, if that's...
I put some times of arrival on Max 2. If you notice there, we're 6 o'clock to Myrtle. It's pretty much right on the doorsteps of Myrtle. It's crossing out of Arkansas here literally in the next minute or two. It's going to be near the Gatewood community at 6:15, Briar at 6:26, Doniphan at 6:35. Now that's if this thing holds together. As Aaron was pointing out, this thing could be more or less gobbled up by the line of storms coming in, because that cell was sitting out by itself, and then now that has come in right on top of it. In fact, if I look at I'll put this as a 1 hour loop real fast, and you can kind of see when they were separated. See how they were separated, and now they're kind of coming together, and it's overtaking it. So that was one supercell by itself. It's moving off to the north now, starting to get overtaken by the line of storms. Now, as Aaron was saying, that may snuff out the circulation there, but that entire line now is going to have some strong winds, and that's why they issued the new severe thunderstorm warning downstream through Randolph and Lawrence County. Is that moving about 45 miles per hour, or is it still moving at 60, you said, didn't you?
It's moving at, the line itself moving about 60.
Okay, and we just now got a new radar scan, so I'm going to put this at 60, but then I'm going to move it also and just kind of slide it down a little bit. There we go. So this is going to have the line coming into evening shade here in the next few minutes. Pocahontas, probably about 6:02. You get the leading edge of maybe the rain. The worst part still probably a little bit farther back to the northwest. Cave City, 6:14. Black Rock, 6:15. Walnut Ridge, 6:22. If this all holds together, it's going to be coming into Marmaduke, Paragould, about 6:30, Swifton, 6:34. And I think the line will hold together. I don't see any reason why the line would fall apart. I do think that supercell's probably going to get snuffed out a little bit, and hopefully we become more of a, I say hopefully, it's kind of a pick your poison type thing. These straight line winds, as we learned last Wednesday, aren't too fun either.
No, and maybe, and this is just looking at the radar trends. The line itself is making more of an easterly move than a southeasterly move, so maybe stays north of Jonesboro, but not too confident to say it will stay north of Jonesboro. Probably will come through Paragould and through Clay and Greene counties, but I know a lot of people in Jonesboro still picking up sticks and picking up pieces from storms earlier this week. And we don't need another windstorm to come through Jonesboro, cause more trouble, but this may just stay to the north of Jonesboro and Cherokee County, but just be on the lookout. This is still about an hour away from getting to Jonesboro if it does make it there. Coming into Pocahontas now, and we still have that area of rotation to the north, northern sides of Randolph County, right there on the county, right there on the state line, and it's still, even this far away, still pretty strong couplet of rotation, right there coming into Myrtle this morning. Very Myrtle down to into Arkansas. So there's Myrtle Road, there's Oregon County Road 267. There's State Highway, that's H Highway there. There's BB Highway. It's just going. Looks like it's straddling right now the state line, and I think we'll move into extreme southern parts of Oregon County. Slowly but surely, and then eventually into Ripley County. And so the National Weather Service office in Paducah is going to have to keep their eye on that storm as it gets closer to Gatewood and to southern Ripley County. And
they were commenting on that just a minute ago. Paducah National Weather Service has noted that that storm coming out of Fulton County has 50-knot gate-to-gate rotation looking from their radar, which is still really strong from that far away, and so they're noting it, they're watching it right now, and let's see if they have anything. Yeah, they're waiting to see if it morphs into that line, much like what we've been talking about also. So they're kind of waiting and seeing, I think, before they extend that warning out.
As they wait and see, I still just want to make sure that people in Gatewood and southwestern Ripley County go ahead and start making your way to your safe spot, because this is a strong storm. It's not letting up. It's not letting up, even getting absorbed into the line. So it's a storm that we cannot trust this morning. It's produced damage for hundreds of miles at point. It hasn't been probably a complete. It's not been on the ground the entire time, but it has caused damage in many areas over 100-mile long swath this morning across northern Arkansas and eastern parts of Oklahoma, and now starting to move into South Missouri. So tornado warning continues for southeastern parts of Oregon County, northern Randolph County. If you live in Worth, if you live in northern parts of Sharp County, eastern Fulton County, from that storm, the tornado threat is low. They still continue with this tornado warning with probably some very strong winds. And let me just pull up that Hardy weather cam, and you can see that we got strong winds, a lot of lightning, heavy rain in Hardy right now. I'm gonna swing this camera around to the back towards downtown just to show you that the wind is just whipping down the road right now. Give it a second. Here it comes. You see the flag is just blowing just straight to the east this morning. You have the rain just whipping down the road, the winds whipping that rain down the road, very strong winds. You can see that tree there. The trees are whipping, just a strong storm, some very strong winds and Hardy right now as that storm pushes through town. I'm surprised the power's still on, but there's probably power outages from Salem to Hardy this morning, at least in some spots with that storm passing through. So very strong winds there in Hardy with that storm. Go back to the radar.
I'll tell you, if we can go back to Max 2, I'll put another storm track on that. Like you said, it's not letting up. So even though we
and there's that new tornado
no,
warning
they
for
did
Ripley
extend
County.
the tornado warning. There it is.
And that does
so
include Donovan.
Putting a storm track. Okay, so that has Donovan. Our ETA on that is at 6:33. We're sitting at 6:02 right now. So you got a little bit. Go ahead and take cover in Gatewood 6:14. Flatwoods Community at 6:43 because it's not letting up. It's that rotation sitting right there on Myrtle. Hopefully everybody in Myrtle has taken to the warning and has taken cover. And the Weather Service, you know, they were waiting for it to see if it morphed into that line. They probably said, you know what, it's not. So they went ahead and issued the downstream warning that now includes Gatewood and Donovan in parts of Ripley County. So we've got a storm track on that. If you have family in Gatewood or Donovan, tell them these ETAs, 6:16 in Gatewood, 6:35 into Donovan. People are just now getting up for the day, probably getting up, and maybe some of these areas getting ready to go to church, and now they're dealing with this. And then, Kyle, what about is this trying to put a little area of rotation south toward Williford right now, maybe on the leading edge of that storm?
I think so. There's a little bit of a notch there coming into Williford, between Williford and Ravenden. So right where that is, a bit of a notch right over Williford right now. Very, very strong winds that just pushed through Hardy and Cherokee Village, now coming into Williford. So if anything, you've got some very, very strong winds coming down 63, and possibly an area of rotation that's going to come into Ravenden Springs, and possibly Imboden here in just a little bit. I'm going to ask.
If you notice, I've got on Max 2, I've got the winds, that blue area that you see in Hardy and Cherokee Village. That's what Aaron was just now showing you on our cameras there. Really, really strong winds that are coming out of the northwest. And then you go down toward Ravenden Springs and Imboden, and that's where the winds are going the opposite direction. So it's a pretty broad circulation right there. But, I wouldn't be surprised to see something try to spin up on the leading edge of that line of storms either.
No, and that's what I was talking about a while ago. Even on the leading edge of that line, as it moves down to the south and east, that the main threat will be strong straight line winds. But every once in a while, especially on the leading edge of those thunderstorms, you could get a quick little spin up tornado that can produce a little bit of damage. And we got strong winds. Looks like some hail falling out here this morning. Strong winds, hail, and at times spin up tornadoes with this storm that continues to move now down through Williford. If you're in Ravenden, if you live in Imboden, Ravenden Springs, go ahead and take your tornado precautions just to be on the safe side, because what you see there, yes, some very strong winds pushing into Williford, but right here on the north side of Williford, back out towards Ozark Acres is where this is going to be, out towards just to the north of Williford and towards Ozark Acres. Could be an area of rotation that's pushing towards Ravenden Springs, Ravenden, and down towards Imboden. So let's go ahead and treat this, even though there's not a tornado warning for your area this morning, as a tornado, because there is a punch of very strong winds coming down for sure. And that strong wind, especially on that northern edge, could bring us a quick spin-up tornado there along the Sharp-Randolph County line. I'm asking the Weather Service about it right now. I'm waiting on a reply from them. But that is coming And just to go ahead and just keep people in mind, we have this area of rotation that's near Myrtle this morning that continues out there. And let me put the radar back in place so I can work it from the wall here. We do have that area of rotation that is near Myrtle, still pretty strong. That's moving into Ripley County at this time, right there where Ripley County, Oregon County, and Fulton County kind of meet there at the state line. Gatewood, you need to be in your tornado safe spot. Pointer, Donovan, you have about 10 minutes or so before that's moving into your area this morning. Area rotation continues right there along and south of Highway 142, Missouri State Highway 142. Looks like it's now east of Myrtle, there between the state line and Highway 142, roughly. But if you're from Job to the state line, Myrtle back over to Ripley County, the Ripley County line, you need to be in your tornado safe spot. Gatewood, back to Highway 142, P Highway, BB Highway, Y Highway. That's where we're seeing this area of rotation right now. And then we have an area of just some very strong winds to the south, punching through Sharp County and moving into western Lawrence County, northwestern Lawrence County, and western parts of Randolph County. Probably some straight line wind damage, and I would not be surprised to see a little bit of a possible tornado kind of form in this area there north of Williford, around Ozark Acres and Raven Den Springs. So I want you in Raven Den Springs to be in your tornado safe spot. There's Ozark Acres. I think there may be a new tornado warning that just came out. Let me zoom out. That now includes, nope, that's just the southern part of that old tornado warning, sorry. They kind of get a little muddy up here whenever you have old warning, continuing warning, and you zoom in, you don't really know what's going on, but severe thunderstorm warning continues for that. So tornado warning for this storm that's right there on the state line, moving through southern Oregon, northern Randolph, southwestern Ripley. And then we have a pretty strong line of storms with some very strong winds now punching in through Williford and Ozark Acres towards Ravenden Springs and Ravenden this morning. And a severe thunderstorm warning that continues for northern parts of Lawrence County, all of Randolph County, northern parts of Sharp County. And it originally stretches back down towards Melbourne, and we don't need to keep don't need to lose sight on those storms, but they don't look as strong as the storms back towards there. But we could have some areas of at least some small hail north of Melbourne over to Ash Flat this morning. So a lot of thunderstorm activity across the region this morning with pockets of very strong winds and hail, possible tornadoes out there this morning. So a lot going on, Ryan.
It really is. You know, you're pointing out that rotation still around Myrtle is still looking extremely concerning. Even with the line coming in now, we still have that rotation that you can clearly see there in the southeastern parts of the county. So the area we're talking about is right there to the east of Myrtle, right there, coming into Gatewood right now. So if you notice, this is the winds going this direction, and then we've got the winds going the opposite direction. So the rotation is sitting right through here between Myrtle and Gatewood right now. We keep hoping that the line of storms is going to kind of snuff it out, morph it all together, but it just hasn't happened yet. So Gatewood needs to be in your tornado safe spot. Donovan needs to be in their tornado safe spot. It has moved out of Arkansas. You look at that really bright blue that you've got going, kind of going through Sharp County. That appears now to be a straight line wind issue, and that's why the severe thunderstorm warning is there. We've got a new severe thunderstorm warning also that is down that encompasses the southern parts of Lawrence County, southern parts of Sharp County, and it now clips parts of Independence and Jackson County, and that's going to be for this line. If you notice, everything's kind of forming into one cluster of storms. For those that are just now waking up, we had a supercell that is still producing the rotation that is up here, right there, kind of coming out of Oregon County going into Ripley County. Then this line here is starting to gobble it up more or less. and we're going to have an issue where we get straight line winds coming from this storm here. So what we're watching is hopefully that
Ryan, from Sharp County and from Fulton County. The Ash Flat Fire Department's reporting that at the Sharp County Regional Airport, that's in Cherokee Village, this morning, right before 6 o'clock, they had an 86-mile-per-hour wind gust there. There's multiple trees and power lines down in Cherokee and in Hardy, and Hardy is responding to a tree on a home with a person trapped this morning. So those strong winds are now coming down 63 towards Ravenden. So people in Ravenden need to be taking their they could almost take their tornado precautions in Ravenden right now. Get to the center part of your house, the lowest level, and away from windows. There's some very, very strong winds coming down the highway with that storm coming through, now coming into northern Lawrence and western parts of Randolph County.
You know, we're also starting to see hail. If you look here on Max 2, we've got those purple areas there. You see some hail cores coming in. And you line that up with there, that's going to be western parts of Randolph County and then coming out of Sharp into Lawrence County. But we're seeing some hail cores with that there. And then probably also back to the south, you've got some of that. It appears not as pronounced there, but definitely some hail in the western parts of Randolph County right now. There's the severe thunderstorm warnings. All of Lawrence County, all of Randolph County, now northern parts of Jackson County. And, you know, downstream, we're going to start looking at this in Paragould and Jonesboro now. But I do think it's transitioning, hopefully, to a straight line wind. You know, this may not make it to Jonesboro. If you look at the loop there, that's almost moving east.
Makes that easterly move to it, which would probably...
And all the models were showing that. If you remember yesterday, we were talking about how this would kind of skim along the state line. It was starting to head southeast, but I don't think that will make it down much farther south.
No, I think it stays right there in those two northern rows of counties. That's where we have the tornado watch this morning. But I put a storm track on this, moving more easterly than southeasterly. So moving into Neelyville, the northern edge of this, and this will include that possible circulation that's over towards Gatewood. This is in Neelyville at 620, Pocahontas 615, Neelyville 620, Corning 623. So we're now talking about Clay County and parts of Greene County as well. Culen there in Butler County at 634, Walnut Ridge 641, Hoxie 643, Pigot 646, Rector 651, and Halliday in Greene County at 658. So getting close to about 7 o'clock, we're looking at places like Marmaduke, Rector, Marmaduke, Paragould, Oak Grove, coming into Pocahontas now, Walnut Ridge in the next, it's 6:15 now, so in the next 20 to 25 minutes into Walnut Ridge and Hoxie, Pigot with the northern edge of that within the next 30 minutes or so, and then into Paragould and Oak Grove and Marmaduke within the next 45 minutes.
All right, that's a good look at where this thing is going, because a lot of people are going to wake up here in a minute to their phones going off to a severe thunderstorm warning, and probably won't know anything about the history of the storms that have already gone through. So, yeah, I think a lot of people in these counties are about to be have a Sunday morning awakening of these storms. We're going to keep trying to check back, because I know a lot of people. I'm getting people texting me wanting to know more about people that are up in Mountain Home. We're going to call Baxter County Sheriff's Department here in just a minute. They're probably really busy, because I do know there is at least trees down on some of the roads. And once the sun comes up, which I'm starting to see a little bit of light now, we'll start to get a little bit of a better idea of what has happened up there. So you see the radar loop there. You see the storms plowing through Randolph County and going northern parts of Lawrence County there. New tornado warning now coming out. New tornado warning coming out now for Randolph County. Looks like it's going to be for this wind that's coming out of Ravenden Springs. When you hear something on that one, let me get you the information on it. So that's going to be National Weather Service has tornado warning Randolph County, Lawrence County, eastern Sharp County until 6:45. At 6:15, severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. It's located near Raven Springs. We're about 10 miles northwest of Pocahontas, moving east at 70 miles per hour. So this thing's really picking up some speed now also. So we'll go back to, we're on max 2. If you notice that blue area there, that is some really strong winds coming in here. And then I think they're picking up on this winds that's coming back through here. Worried about this area. Boy, it's really punching in. Even if there's not a tornado, there's some really strong winds coming into Pocahontas. So now phones are being alerted in Pocahontas because of tornado warning, which means even if you don't have the KAIT weather app, you're getting what we would call the WIA or alerts, or the wireless emergency alerts, which are reserved for just the extreme emergencies that government can put to your phones to wake you up. So the tornado warning does officially include parts of Randolph County, little part of Lawrence County also, and it does include the Pocahontas area. So let's treat this, as if there is, a possible tornado there. But at the very least, it's going to be some really strong winds coming out of Raven Springs and pushing down probably down to the southeast.
And that's going to include, I know there's probably not a lot of students out at Williams right now, but the tornado warning does include Williams Baptist University north of Walnut Ridge, that'd be in the Oak Colony City area. New severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for Clay and Greene counties for that line of storms. And I want people in Paragould, because if that punches through, that strong wind that stays that strong, that's going to punch into Paragould with it moving at about 70 miles per hour. So just taking where the strong winds are and moving it down. It's in Imboden right now. Pocahontas 623, College City 630, O'Kane at 632, Blackjack at 637, Beech Grove 641, Crowley's Ridge College, so out there on the west sides of Paragould at 646, downtown 650, Mounds at 656, and eventually towards Arbor there in the Boot Hill, Caldwell, Arbor, and Hornersville by around 7 o'clock. So it's moving very fast, winds punching out, and hopefully what this does is that the winds punch out and get ahead of the storm and starts to kind of cool off the atmosphere ahead of it. But don't count on that between Pocahontas and Paragould right now. You've got, it's 6:19 now, Paragould, you've got about 20 minutes before this would make it into town.
I'm looking to see if we've got any more storm reports coming in. Now that we're starting to get light, I see some tree damage. Oh yeah, some extensive tree damage. I'm gonna retweet this. So if you follow me on Twitter, you can find it there. Extensive tree damage at Norfolk's, where do they say? Along the White River. So it's going to be Norfolk, in the city of Norfolk, along the White River. There's been extensive tree damage there. All right. Let's go back to radar. I'm on max 2 still, and we're still looking at gusty winds. I want to go back up to that tornado warning. That is looking a little bit less likely, just kind of going through the Gatewood area. I would still Donovan be in your tornado safe spot, because we still have some really strong winds coming kind of up and around through here on Gatewood, and then still showing winds going away from the radar. So there's still some broad rotation there as it moves to the northeast, and it continues to inch along toward Donovan. Once again, this is a storm not to be trusted, even though it's being kind of overtaken by the line of storms. This is a storm that earlier has put down a tornado going all the way back to Tulsa, Oklahoma. So be aware of that. Then down to the south, we got a tornado warning for Randolph County for this storm. And I tell you, I don't see an exact area to watch for tornado, but I do see a large area of straight line winds. Our Pocahontas camera, if we have enough daylight on it here in just a minute, might be pretty interesting to look at here in just a minute. And in addition to that, there is a chance of some hail with this storm. You see the kind of pink and purple areas. I'm taking a little bit of a power hit right now, Aaron.
Probably some
If
gusts.
I lose power,
Probably lightning. That's probably out of hit. I would have to think some lightning close to one of the power stations. Or some gusty winds.
But you can see the hail core there. There's a couple of hail cores really close to Pocahontas. If you look at this in 3D, getting hail reports is not going to be out of the question either.
Let's go back to Max 1, and I'm going to pull up the Pocahontas camera. You can see that the shelf cloud is starting to come in. A lot of lightning, dark clouds coming in through. I think we just lost it. I think the camera just took a hit. That was crazy. Let's go. I'll go back to Max 2. Ryan has the radar up there. But
all right, so we go back to Max 2, and you can see if they lost power, it's going to be due in part to the wind coming in. You can see the storm is really, really hammering down on Pocahontas right now. That bright shade of blue that you see there between Raven Springs and Pocahontas, that is showing 60 to 70 mile per hour winds probably with this storm. So if you look at the movement on it, the worst of it the strongest winds are really starting to take a more easterly look. You see that?
Yeah.
The highest winds might stay up around Highway 115 on Pocahontas.
Yeah, they go between Maynard and Pocahontas.
Unless there's something rotating there. Yeah. So that's going to be interesting to watch. Heavy, heavy rain and some large hail possible coming in to Pocahontas right now also. Let me give you kind of a wide perspective. You see the new warnings that Aaron was telling us about just now for Greene County and Clay County. This is for this line of storms that's coming through. We still have the tornado warning, and I haven't heard. Have you heard anything? Have you seen anything from the Weather Service regarding the Randolph County tornado warning? They really didn't say much about it. They just kind of issued it.
Yeah, they just kind of issued it, and they haven't said too much more about it. So I wonder if that tornado warning just came out because there was some rotation, but some very strong winds out towards Raven Springs at the time that tornado warning was issued. We got large hail and damaging winds coming into Pocahontas right now, and that will, if it holds together. The southern part of that warning, if you live in Cave City, Swifton, even south of Walnut Ridge back towards Minturn and Alicia, this may stay to the north of y'all now, as this is now taking more of an easterly move and not a southeasterly move, and the storms that were kind of back in the Izard County and trying to develop back towards evening shade, those storms have kind of fizzled and continue to move off towards the east. So I think if you live, say, Walnut Ridge north, that's what you have to worry about, the thunderstorms. If you live south of Walnut Ridge back to northern Jackson, northern Independence, southern parts of even southern Sharp County, the storms are now mainly to your north.
You know what, Aaron, the more I look at this for just a second, I was checking with the Weather Service on what they're seeing. Look right here. I want to point out something. There's this little area right here. It kind of started here. It's moving this direction. Maynard, take cover. I want to make sure Maynard takes cover. And let me show you something else, Aaron. You look here, and you've got possibly, I don't want to say it's a debris signature because it's so far away from the radar, but if you back this up also, you see this right here?
Yeah, you have
Maynard,
something.
take cover.
And if you look
take cover, Maynard. I don't like that at all.
If you look on the reflectivity mode, the how hard it's raining mode, you see what's called a bounded weak echo region there too. So it's a drop in the amount of stuff that's falling. There was kind of a what you call a donut hole for a short period of time on the back side of that. Now it's getting pushed out and filling back in with probably some very strong winds and some hail. Just looking at the radar between Pocahontas and Maynard, looking at the reflectivity mode there, and but yeah, there's an area of rotation.
I don't like that at all.
Is there? So there's a severe thunderstorm warning that's for Maynard. They're not under a tornado warning. That old tornado warning is for the old tornado warning that for the storm now in Donovan. And then the new tornado warning for the wind south going through Pocahontas. But there's an area of rotation there near the Ingram community that needs to, right there on 238 and whatever that highway is that takes you from Pocahontas to Ingram.
That'd be 231 and 328.
So if you're in Maynard, I think so. Maynard to Biggers, and to maybe north of Biggers, but Maynard to Success, and still early. But if you're in Corning, this storm would be pushing into Noble, Peach Orchard, and Corning here in probably the next 20 minutes or so, if not a little bit sooner. But yeah, I think
so on Max 2, I've kind of circled an area.
The area rotation is getting stronger.
I've kind of circled an area. It is, and I'm concerned with it a little bit. It's real messy to try to say that you see debris this far away on radar, but if you look at where the couplet is, which is right here, the area of rotation that I'm concerned with is right there. If you look at the debris signature on there, there's something near there, but I don't know if we're seeing some kind of other little radar anomaly going on. But if you look at just the wind within the storm, like this, let's even take that possibility out. You back this up just a little bit, and we've had a few little scans here of that.
Yeah.
Coming toward Maynard, coming to Success. It's not going to hurt anything for us, even in these places that aren't under a tornado warning, to stay away from exterior walls through this area and stay away from windows. Just treat this, let's respect this for just a little bit until it passes on through. I'm going to see if the Weather Services comment any more on this.
Memphis is watching this, so
yeah, because they would be going into their area. Yeah.
I just want everybody in Clay County to start thinking of their tornado safe spot now. If you live in Success, Dado, even Reno and Randolph County to Corning, this would push into your area in the next 20 minutes or so. Maynard is coming into town now, especially on the south and west sides of Maynard. So you need to be in your tornado safe spot right now if you're in Maynard. Strong winds continue in Pocahontas right now. The Pocahontas camera keeps coming and going. So, but the last image I got just absolutely you couldn't see in front of BRTC right now, and that storm continues to push off towards the east with some strong winds in Pocahontas. I would not be surprised to see some wind damage in Pocahontas right now, Raven Springs. And then if you get closer back towards O'Kane, Delaplane, Peach Orchard, you will be next with at least some very strong winds. The rotation looks like it may be trying to come down just a little bit near Maynard, something to keep an eye on, but still some very strong winds fixing to push, that's pushing it into Maynard and into Pocahontas right now. I want to do a storm track on this and just track the leading edge of this wind from Donovan. We need to keep an eye on this. We need to keep an eye on what's going on in Donovan too, because let me see what the radar from Paducah looks like. Still, you still have a good area of rotation in Donovan right now. That's for sure, with some strong winds. If not a tornado, some very strong winds coming into Donovan as well. So probably see at least another severe thunderstorm warning, if not a tornado warning, come out for eastern Ripley County into southern Butler County, and that would probably include Poplar Bluff. And then just some strong winds right now from moving through Pocahontas. So let's do a quick storm track. I'll do a storm track along the line in Arkansas, and then do another one along that storm in Ripley County. And it's moving towards the east at, I think it's at 70 miles per hour a while ago. So we'll keep it at 70. Maynard coming into town right now. If you're in O'Kane, about 637. Peach Orchard, 643. Corning, 647. Crowley's Ridge State Park, the west sides of town of Paragould at 651. Downtown Paragould, 655. Rector at 7 o'clock. Cardwell at 704, 708 in Zenith, and 712 if this holds together makes it to Kennett this morning. So Probably see before too long a new severe thunderstorm warning come out for eastern parts of Green, Clay, and for parts of Dunklin County as well. And then I'm going to clear this off, and I want to do one more track, and I want to track along the storm up in Ripley County, because there's a couple areas. There's some strong winds through Donovan, and then you have another area where it looks like a little bit of rotation as you head east of Donovan out on Highway 160. Yeah. So let's do this out. I think this is going about 45 to 50. Let me get the exact speed on that storm. That's moving at 60 miles per hour. So let me clear that off and extend that out just a tad bit faster. And that would put it in, it's in Donovan now, Naylor 645, Neelyville 651, Keelan 705. So eventually moving into southern parts of Butler County, which does not have a severe thunderstorm warning. The north sides of Butler does, so north of Poplar Bluff. Southern sides of Butler probably see a new severe thunderstorm warning, if not a tornado warning come out. With that will include Naylor, Neelyville, and probably Keelan. And then the severe thunderstorm warning in Clay and Greene County, they have upped that to a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag on it. New tornado warning that's now in effect for eastern Ripley County, southern Butler County. That does include Poplar Bluff, Keelan, and Neelyville for that storm that's in Donovan right now. So a new tornado warning, for eastern parts of Ripley County and southern Butler County for that storm. Get the specifics on this.
All right, so talking with the Weather Service right now, they said that Pocahontas tornado warning, it was just so far away from the radar, they were being safe with that really strong wind coming in. As far as that possible rotation that was heading toward Maynard, it's there. Once again, we're really far away from the radar there also.
So we got a severe thunderstorm warning with tornado tag, possible tornado. So this is just basically saying that it's severe thunderstorm warning, but there could be a tornado at any time with this for this storm coming into Corning. That stretches back to Pocahontas. That includes Corning, McDougal, Pollard, Pigot. That stretches down to Paragould, Marmaduke, Leif, Oak Grove, all the way through western Greene County. And then we continue with the tornado warning for the next little bit for eastern and southeastern parts of Randolph County, extreme northeastern parts of Lawrence County. And then we have a new tornado warning that's in effect across the state line. This is for eastern Ripley County, and then for southern Butler County, and for a small slither of Stoddard County, but mainly for Donovan over to Neelyville and Naylor, south sides of Poplar Bluff over to Keelan this morning. Or a tornado warning up for southern Butler and for eastern Ripley County. So these storms are starting to make their way through. If you are in Corning, the heaviest of the storms coming in now. We still have pretty heavy rain and thunderstorm activity in Pocahontas with a lot of wind. The hill looks like it has come down just a little bit there, but the strong winds are now starting to push in through Success, Peach Orchard, but we still have strong winds. Pocahontas back over north of O'Kane, back toward BRTC and Maynard. That's moving into O'Kane, Delaplane, Peach Orchard, Noble, you're next, and also Corning. Strong winds will be moving in here soon. And then this will punch into northern Greene County as it moves out of Randolph and out of Lawrence County. This will push in to northern Greene County as well.
You know, I'm starting to think that this might not even make it as far south as Paragould, or at least the southern parts of Paragould. Definitely not Jonesboro. It's almost like a pendulum. It was kind of coming down to the southeast, and now it's starting to scoop out and head more to the northeast. Now, if you notice, I've got on Max 2, I've got just radar without the warnings. I took all the warnings off of it just so you can get a pretty good idea of the movement on it. And if you look at that on Max 2, you can see how it's just more, it's not only more eastward now, but there might even be a little northeasterly component to it. And I will say, it does look like it has weakened on the past couple of frames. That's not to say we need to let our guard down at all, because we really have some strong winds still with this, but this is starting to weaken. In my opinion, it's starting to weaken.
And that's some good news if you live in Corning and Peach Orchard and McDougal. But even still, at the moment, you know, it's on a weakening trend, but it's still
some gusty winds,
very strong storm. And you may start to see some little bit of hail that may be trying to form back towards the west of Pocahontas as well. It would be small hail right now west of Pocahontas, back over towards Raven and Pocahontas. But there looks like there might be maybe a little bit of hail trying to get going back there. They've canceled or expired the severe thunderstorm warning that was in effect for southern Lawrence County, parts of Independence and Jackson County. So that's good news. Severe thunderstorm warning continues for places like Paragould to Pigot. But like Ryan said, this may skirt the north sides of Paragould and go out towards Oak Grove. The very southern tail of that may go out towards Oak Grove, but mainly stay over northern Greene County and back towards eventually towards Marmaduke. This holds together. This will move into northern Dunklin County. It may not even make it as far. It's not going to make it as far south as Cardwell and Arbor. It may not even make it as far south as Zenith. So. Something to keep an eye on. It may get to Kennett back up to Holcomb and surely go through Campbell and Malden, but we may see these warnings redrawn here in a minute, and it may get a little messy looking again. But we continue with the severe thunderstorm warning for most of Clay County, most of Greene County, a good portion of southern parts of Randolph County, northern Lawrence County, because we still have storms that, even though that they've already got hit by rain and thunderstorms back towards Ravenden and Ravenden Springs, we still have a pretty good little storm that's popping up there. And then we continue with the tornado warning with this storm that's moving through southern Butler County, and that looks like it's transitioning for the most part to maybe a straight line wind event as well, with maybe some embedded areas of rotation, like kind of maybe a little bit more rotation right there on the Ripley Butler County line. That will move up toward Poplar Bluff. And it looks like, and this is outside of reach, but you know, there's probably people up here at Lake Wapapello. Oh, there is a new tornado warning. New tornado warning. That's for Clay County and Dunklin County. So the Memphis office
now, I will read that. Yeah, let me. As soon as that pops in here, I will read that off to you. There it is. New tornado warning for northwestern Greene County, eastern Arkansas, Clay County and eastern Arkansas, northeastern Dunklin County, in southern Missouri until 7:30. At 6:39, severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Biggers, or 10 miles east of Pocahontas, moving to the east at 30 miles per hour.
So it had to
30
be
miles per hour. So
embedded there on the Clay-Randolph County line.
Yeah, I think they're picking up on that really strong wind. I mean, honestly, if you look at storm relative, you're kind of in the. If I can go, let me go back to radar here. You're kind of in the radar haze through there, anyways. You see that purple area? That's where the range fold is on the radar. So let's get in a little closer here.
Because right now you're getting strong winds with the leading edge of the storm coming through Corning to Noble to Peach Orchard, and then behind that is where they're flagging the possible tornado south of Biggers. So that would be back over on the Randolph-Clay County line behind the leading edge, so embedded in the storm.
Yeah, it doesn't really line up. I'm not gonna argue with them on that, but that's not really where I would anticipate a tornado right now. But let's treat it as if it is. If nothing else, we have some really strong wind that's coming through that area. So we'll put a storm track on the leading edge of really just kind of that whole area there. In fact, I'm gonna put it back onto radar. And yeah, like you said, they're kind of flagging that back side of the storm through here. We'll treat it as what it is. I'll take it to south of Corning is the area they're talking about. 642, Knob 654, McDougal 656, Pollard at 704, Pigot at 710, and Campbell at 718. It's the times of arrival on that.
So, very strong thunderstorm, and at this time, the strongest of this storm will stay north of Paragould for the most part. Maybe we may get clipped on the north side of town. Jonesboro, you will not see any of these storms with this badge coming through. Got to watch the hail that's looked like it's back towards Imboden this morning. That's going to come into Pocahontas, and then I guess there may be an area the Weather Service sees something there along the Clay-Randolph County line, and they're going to extend that tornado warning on through. So better safe than sorry. Strong winds already coming through Corning and Noble and Peach Orchard, Knob and McDougal. You're next. Rector and Pigot in about 10 minutes or so. You'll have some strong winds coming into your area. We really have a tornado warning along this line stretching from Poplar Bluff all the way down to Delaplane this morning. So severe thunderstorm to tornado warnings from Poplar Bluff down to Delaplane, and severe thunderstorm warning stretches back over to Pocahontas this morning. And that's moving all towards the east at 60 to 70 miles per hour. So what I want to do is, just take the leading edge of this entire line and just extend it out, because the rain's going to get to you. The heavy rain and wind along the leading edge of this line is going to get to you before a possible tornado would. So we're looking at places like Light at 644, Pigot 649, Halliday 654, downtown Paragould 656, 702, and Kennett 711, Portageville 725, and Caruthersville. So by 8 o'clock, all of this will be 7:30, 8 o'clock. All of this will be across the state line, across the Mississippi River, and we'll recharge the day for later on. But we have a pretty potent line of storms that are continuing to move with possible embedded tornadoes and very strong winds, some hail, really stretching from north of Poplar Bluff through Lake Wapapello, where there is a tornado warning for Lake Wapapello, up to the north of Poplar Bluff. So if you know anybody up there, let them know if they're camping up there this weekend. Down to Poplar Bluff, down now coming through Corning and through Light. May skirts the north sides of Paragould, but I think for the most part this should stay north of Paragould and move up through Northern Greene and through Clay County.
All right, I've got a storm track on the area that prompted the tornado warning. It's slated to come through Peach Orchard 648, Rector 714, Pigot at 723. Just looking at it, I'm not overly concerned with the tornado, but at the same time, I kind of liked what they had in place there already, which was anything along this line of storms. Here's your line of storms right through here. In any of these little areas, which we've talked about forever, you get a little kink in the line, a little notch in the line, and you get a little spin-up tornado. That's not out of the question. And so severe thunderstorm warning continues there. Weather Service seeing something that concerned them just a little bit more with that storm. And you see it. I mean, you can see it now. If you look real close, there it is right there.
Right over Peach Orchard.
You can see the winds coming. Yep, right over Peach Orchard. So it's there. It needs to be watched. It's coming through Peach Orchard over to Noble. And let me clear this off here, and I'll kind of just go up and down the line there to kind of get an idea of the roads that are going to be affected. So there's the area that has prompted the tornado warning. It's right near Peach Orchard, and it is some rotation. It took a little bit to see it because it was right in what we call the range fold of the radar, but that's it right there. It's going to be coming. Let me just continue down the slide near County Road 234 near the Knob community, 247. It'll then cross over Highway 90. So this would be Highway 90. It comes out of Rector and curls back to the west. If it holds together, there's Greenway, there's County Road 450, and there is Pigot. We'll zoom in a little closer and you get into some of those other roads there. Highway 141, it would cross over. So there's the area we're watching. I circled it just a little bit ago. We'll zoom in even closer. It's right near County Road 216, 223. It's going to come near the Cache Lake area, cross over 134. Continue on over 141, cross near the Boydsville area, and then on up toward Greenway and Pigot. That is what has prompted the tornado warning there. So once we got out of that range fold, it made a little bit more sense there on why that tornado warning came out.
And on top of that, we have in the state right now 127,000 electric customers without power. Most of Baxter County, 23,813 customers without power out of the 27,000. In Baxter County, we have 7,600 without power. In Fulton County, we have 2,600 without power. In Sharp County, a little over 1,000 without power. In Randolph County, a little over 300. In Lawrence County, and a little over 150 in Stone County, but 163 in Stone County without power. So there are thousands of people without power this morning, and I think those power outages will continue to go up, especially through the rest of Randolph County and Clay County over the next little bit as that area of thunderstorms move towards the east. In South Missouri, we're looking at not as many power outages, a little over 100 in Oregon, 102 in Ripley right now, but I think through Butler, Ripley, Oregon County, and eventually Dunklin County, we may see more people without power. And then on top of that, the winds we have looks like but I think the area rotation just continues to get a little bit stronger, and it's now south of Noble. So, and if this continues off to the east, if you live in Rector or north of Rector over towards Pigot and Greenway, you will need to be your tornado safe spots now. You have a couple minutes, but let's track this out. How fast was this storm moving, Ryan?
That storm was moving at just 30 miles per hour, east at 30 miles per hour.
30, so I'll bring it down. I was going 60 with the main line. Cache Lake at 657, Knob at 706, Boydsville 714, 721 in Crockett, 732 in Greenway. Pull it down to the south. I want to get Rector in here too. Rector 723. So 723 to about 730 in Greenway. So about 735 or so in Pigot. We'll see that storm come into your area eventually over towards St. Francis, and eventually should probably go somewhere between, say, Hawkham up to Campbell this morning with that circulation.
Hey, Aaron, are you seeing any hail on the Pocahontas weather camera, just out of curiosity?
We don't have, the Pocahontas weather camera took a hit a while ago, so it's without power. When we lost the camera a while ago, there was a bright flash, so I think it was struck by lightning, and we lost power there.
All right, well, I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't have a little bit of hail going on, which they continue to have a severe thunderstorm warning there also, so not out of the question that we would get hail out of that storm. That severe thunderstorm warning is continuing for Randolph County. Severe thunderstorm warning with tornado possible through Clay and Greene County, and they've really focused in on this storm that kind of between Peach Orchard and Knob. And I tell you, it's starting to look a little bit more impressive. Excuse me, but you can see just to the south of Noble, the rotation there. So if you look at this on Max 2, you've got that rotation there, that line going there, that line going there, possible rotation right around the Noble area.
I have some family in Peach Orchard who said that they did have some rotation in Peach Orchard. It was really fast and moved through town really fast. So we do have that rotation now south of Noble, fixing cross over 135 there at the Noble Y, and probably go somewhere between Rector and up towards Pigot this morning. So if you're in from Rector north up to Pigot, you need to be in your tornado safe spot, especially on Highway 190 or Highway 90 around Boydsville. And then after you make the turn at Hargraves Corner there in Rector up on Highway 49, back up towards Greenway, that's where we're going to see it probably cross 49 as you get closer to Pigot.
And the Weather Service is noting that it is tightening up also. So take this serious if you are in this tornado warning along Highway 135, where Aaron was saying where the Noble Y is. I believe the Highway Department has some. If you know, Highway 90 has the gravel sitting there on the side of the road. I believe it's the county or state, not sure, but if you're from that area, you know exactly where the highway turns off to go to Noble. That's going to cross right near there, go very near Noble Knob, and then continue on toward really County Road 450. It's going to cross over 90 somewhere along where 141 meets up with it. If I was in Pigot, I'd be watching this one really closely.
And just to look at this storm, it's now becoming, it's almost taken on a supercellular look on the bottom edge of the line. It's kind of now on the very bottom. It has nothing impeding it. You get a circulation going. There's a lot of warm, moist air to the south that could be fed up into the storm. That could get the storm to turning really quickly, and that could become a problem, especially through southern Clay County, eastern Clay County, northern Dunklin County. With this storm. So it to me is trying to take on more of a supercellular look than a line look. We still have the gusty winds along the leading edge of it as the original line kind of moves up towards the north, but it has the ingredients, it has the environment to where it can start to pull in some inflow from the south, some very warm moist air that's out there, because we're in the mid 70s to around 80 out there this morning, and very humid with dew points in the mid 70s. So we'll have to keep an eye on the very southern edge of this storm. It's now the southern edge of the line, and we'll just have to keep an eye on that over the next little bit, because we still have that.
Aaron,
area.
I know this will be a pretty far distance, but is there any way we can turn the Paragould camera northward and try to see? We'd probably be looking through a lot of rain, but
let's see.
Just an idea. While you're pulling that up, let's go back to Max 2 for a second. Still seeing the rotation there. It's riding right on the southern edge of that tornado warning. I mean, to the point where, they probably won't redraw the warning, but it is definitely right on the edge of that warning that's coming through. So the Knob community is being impacted by that area right now. I'm not saying there's a tornado there, but it's definitely a concerning area. And then it crossing over 90. Now, what I was telling Aaron just now, we've got a camera, obviously, down here in Paragould, so we'd be looking through a lot of rain if we had anything there. So I figure with getting a little bit of daylight, it's a chance.
You can see the very edge, and I guess you can see that's the stinger flow into the storm, the inflow into the storm looking from Paragould. You look down there, it's really hard to see anything. Let me pull back up the camera control, and once you just kind of turn it to the north, it's really hard to see anything that's out there. But you can kind of see the outer structure of the storm if you take a look towards the west. You can see the backside of the storm. You can see the edge of the shelf cloud moving through. That's what you're seeing in the north sides of Paragould right now. You go outside and you can see, and every once in a while you see little tags hanging down. I don't think those are anything to.
No, I think if there was anything with this, it would be. I mean, if you looked right on the horizon, you would have to look almost due north, if not a little bit of a skosh northeast. Northeast.
It's hard to see. I don't really see. It's once you turn to the north, you're looking through the rain. But if you look back towards the west, there's some interesting features. I don't think they're wall clouds. They're low hanging clouds. They're scuds out there, but it's moisture being drawn up into the storm.
All right, so I'm just, I know Marmaduke has a new camera that would probably look out that direction. The government's got a camera there. I may check in with them and see if they can see anything to the north right now on that tornado warning.
The rotation looks like, yeah, I was going to say, it looks like the rotation looks like it's a little bit broader over knob, but there's still some rotation there.
All right. If I hear anything else, I'll. Mayor of Delaplane just said that everything's good up there. Emily Cisco, so they're good there. Getting other reports out of Salesville area on the power issues that they have. That's about everything I've got right now.
Starting to see some photos. This is coming from in the chat, in the Little Rock chat right now. This is from Ron Hurst from KY3 of some pretty good damage in Salesville. Campers with trees down around there.
Ooh.
The campers look okay, which is if you rode the storm out in that camper, I bet that was a scary storm. But you have trees down all around you, signs blown down there, and that's from the storms earlier over towards Lake Norfolk. We continue with this storm here in Clay County. Tornado warning in effect for this area of rotation that's near Knob, right there along Highway 90. This should scoot just to the north of Rector, but if you're anywhere from Rector to the north where Highway 90 makes that turn back towards the west to go back out towards Highway 135, this is where that area of rotation is coming right now. And you see there's little areas all throughout there. So we have little areas along that leading edge that we have to watch. Along with that, we have little areas up in the Butler County as well. So really anywhere from Poplar Bluff all the way down to Rector this morning, we're going to have to watch little areas along the line. We have a tornado warning remains in effect for southern Butler County, tornado warning in effect for Clay and northern parts of Dunklin County. Severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for Clay and Greene counties, and we now have flash flood warnings, it looks like, for Ripley County this morning for the heavy rain that we've had up there. So we have a lot going on this morning with these thunderstorms, and put it back on reflectivity mode. You kind of have that leading edge of the line of storms that are now coming into Pigot, Rector, and Marmaduke, and then behind there you sometimes get a little bit of a wrapping up of the winds there between Peach Orchard and Rector.
Couple notes, Aaron. National Weather Service out of Memphis saying the rotation in Clay County, first of all, it's completely out of Greene County, so they have trimmed back the warning to completely take Greene out of it. And then Clay County, that rotation, they're noting it's also weakening, and that if it continues that trend, they will be replacing with a downstream severe thunderstorm warning instead of a tornado warning. Now, I will say the last scan just now came in. I mean, there's still something there, right there at Highway 90 in Boydsville. So there's still a little something there. So, I mean, if I was in Pigot, I'd still stay away from exterior walls, stay away from windows. As I said earlier, with some of these storms, treat them with a little bit of respect that they have caused some damage. And, it doesn't put you out any, just to take cover for the next 20 to 30 minutes, just to stay away from exterior walls. But that's right near Boydsville area, maybe just a hair south of there, moving to the northeast at about 40 miles per hour, it looks like.
Starting to get some damage reports out of South Missouri now. There's reports of trees down on U Highway south of US 142 south of Doniphan in southern Ripley County. Power lines are also down throughout Ripley County. They had an estimated wind of 60 miles per hour south of Poplar Bluff about 10 minutes ago when that storm moved through. That tornado warning that was in effect for Butler County has been canceled, and a severe thunderstorm warning tornado tag has been issued for eastern Butler County up through Stoddard County and over into New Madrid County. Kind of, you get that little bump there over Dunklin County, just because the Dunklin County is in Memphis County warning area, and Butler and Stoddard and New Madrid are in the Paducah. So still a severe thunderstorm coming through northern Dunklin County. Possible tornado with that storm coming through Clay County, but still otherwise a severe thunderstorm through Clay County into northern Dunklin County.
I want to also point out that Greene County has been removed from the severe thunderstorm warning completely also, as that continues to kind of be shunned off to the north. So Paragold's going to get a couple sprinkles, and that's going to be about it. So no warnings for Greene County at all contained into Clay County is what we got. We still officially have the severe thunderstorm warning for another 13 minutes through Randolph County. Honestly, there's nothing really there anymore, so you could almost even give Randolph County the all clear now.
I would give Randolph County, but there may be a little bit of hail just across the county line over in Clay County. Then that's from that storm that just moved through Pocahontas a while ago. They probably had a little bit of hail with it too.
Yeah.
Getting another report. This is out of rather along the Ripley-Butler County line near Faraday Link in Harville, of a possible tornado that touched down, tore a porch off of a couple homes. Trees are down. A house is damaged with water pouring in. That's from fire protection in Carter County. Kind of managed that area. New severe thunderstorm warning just popped up for eastern Clay, eastern Greene, and northern Dunklin, and parts of Pemiscot County. It looks like. Through Dunklin County, Pemiscot, and also touches a small portion of Mississippi County. It does officially include northern parts of Blytheville, but I really do not think that storm is going to probably make it to Blytheville. It's going to have a hard time making it to Zenith. But I think the heaviest goes through Kennett to Caruthersville this morning with that leading edge. So while
I think they must have drove it that far south maybe for the gust coming out from it, because the storm itself won't go that south.
No, possibly. So strong. Wonder how strong the winds are. How strong are the winds in Paragould that's coming through right now? They give you about the.
I'm just seeing the trees move around just a little bit, not much.
So, really and truly, if you're in Paragould, Hornersville, northern sides of Blytheville to Steele, the heavy of this storm is going to stay to the north of you. Back up, maybe stay along and just north of Highway 412 through northern parts of Pemiscot County and from Kennett north in Dunklin County. They continue to trim the tornado warning there in Clay County, but they continue that tornado warning in Clay County. Because there's still area of rotation north of Rector right now.
Yeah, it's still there. It's right there where Highway 90 turns back to the west.
Yep.
It's about to come into the Greenway area, probably within the next few minutes. That's why if you're in Greenway, if you're in Pigot, go ahead and stay away from the windows. Get as many walls between you and the outside, and let's just let this thing pass on by. It doesn't look as strong as some of the other areas of rotation we've seen today, but it doesn't take much. We've learned before, you knock a limb down or something like that, and that can cause some big time problems. So take cover, Greenway, Pigot for the next little bit. Next in line will be Holcomb. Nimmons might even catch this also, somewhere between Nimmons and Holcomb, as that continues to kind of move to the east-northeast.
Still looking through.
They are not going to extend the tornado warning, though.
And that would make sense. That makes sense with the severe thunderstorm warning that they did issue. It's a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado tag on it, and that's kind of what Paducah did too with the storm with the warning for Butler and Stoddard and New Madrid County. So it's kind of just a continuity thing through Dunklin and Pemiscot County. It looks like to me.
Yeah, so now this tornado warning still goes until 7:30, so it's 7:06 now. So they'll probably, as long as it continues to even show that little bit of rotation, they'll probably let this warning just ride on out. And so we'll stick with you as long as that threat is there also. Our policy, of course, is, if there's tornado warning, we'll stick with you. If there's a severe thunderstorm warning that we feel is making a huge impact, like last Wednesday in Jonesboro, we'll stick with you on that also. So we're going to stick around, continue to update you here. I'm starting to get some questions about, okay, what about once this moves out? Let me widen out. And I'll tell you, while I'm showing a wide perspective, Aaron, may also give them a look of what to expect through the day like you did earlier for those that are just now waking up. But if you notice, the warnings are all kind of contained in Clay County and southeast Missouri, but we've had a few little storms popping up back here in Cleburne County and Independence County, but these aren't severe. These are just a few little showers and storms that are passing through. But we're going to have to watch things like that through the day. Someone asked, what about church? People are heading out for church this morning. I think most of Region 8 here in the next hour, everything's going to move on out. But we got a break. And then as we go into the afternoon, the atmosphere, a large part of the area hasn't been worked over by storms like the ones that we're seeing passing through. So we're going to see some development. Some of the models are showing some mid-afternoon development. Those could be strong to severe, could be tornadic. And then as we go into the evening hours, late evening hours, we've got more opportunities for severe weather. In fact, we should see a line of storms develop and push through late this evening also. So be aware of that. So as far as this morning, give it about an hour, and I think pretty much whatever church services you're going to, you should be fine. In fact, give it another 30 minutes, and it'll be out of Clay County. And really that essentially would be most of Region 8 would be good for the morning hours until the redevelopment later on.
Yeah, let's go ahead, and I've got the hour by hour up, and we'll just talk about what we see. This is this morning storms. Those will move out. We may see some rain across South Missouri through lunchtime, some isolated scattered showers with that area just moving through. That will not be severe. As you head into the afternoon, we are dry. We'll see probably the sun come out. We start to see some showers and thunderstorms start to pop up across South Missouri, according to this model, at about 5 to 6 o'clock. We'll have to watch those storms, and then as you head past 8 o'clock, so 9, 10, 11 o'clock, a line of thunderstorms starts to develop and moves through Paragould, Jonesboro, down to Newport, and then that should eventually push on through after midnight. And then we dry out for Memorial Day, and we'll continue with these thunderstorms. Like Ryan said, we still have those storms back over towards Heber Springs and Batesville. We still have the strong storms that are pushing through Clay County into northern Dunklin County right now. That's a severe thunderstorm warning, and that tornado warning continues for the next 20 minutes for the tornado warning out there. Still some rotation, some broad rotation near Greenway there between Pigot and Rector on Highway 49. Something we'll have to watch as that continues to move south of Pigot. I think this should stay mostly south of Pigot. Some strong winds pushing through Pigot. That will move towards Nimmons and then probably cross Highway 25 in Missouri, somewhere between Hockham and Kennett. And once that happens, that moves over into New Madrid County and out of Region 8. But still, watching at least some strong winds on the backside, a little bit of rotation continuing. They're right there on Highway 49. They're around Greenway, just south of Pigot, and that's going to travel towards Nimmons and then over across the St. Francis River and move towards somewhere between Hockham and Kennett, around the Frisbee community that's out there this morning there in Dunklin County. So we'll keep an eye on that. Severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for eastern Clay, Green, most of Dunklin. Tornado warning remains in effect for eastern Clay and northern Dunklin counties for Pigot to Nimmons to Hockham this morning.
Yeah, that rotation is getting a lot broader, and what we mean by that is just you want it tighter to expect a tornado. And it's just kind of a lot broader. Still some gusty winds there around Rector, but I would, it definitely doesn't look like the rotation that we were seeing just a little bit ago.
No, it looks like the Weather Service, they're trimming that severe tornado warning, trimming parts of clay out of it, western clay. Still note that the rotation's still going. That severe thunderstorm warning that's out there for Randolph County, the storm is well to the east now. You no longer are impacted by a severe thunderstorm in Randolph County. And really, northern Greene County, if you live through Greene County and eastern Greene County, the storm is up in Clay County, and that's where it looks like it will stay. Staying mainly north of the heaviest of this looks like it'll stay from Kennett to the north. You have some heavy rain that's fixing to push into Kennett, but Greene County, for the most part, you are clear. You just have a few light showers as you head down towards Mounds this morning. Here before too long, we'll be able to send this back to regular programming, but before we do that, we just want to make sure that this part of the warning, this near Nimmons, that has that air rotation that's between Nimmons and Rector, we just want to make sure that doesn't tighten up into something more. Still some strong gusty winds out there on Highway 49 south of Pigot. Like I said, it's going over towards Nimmons, eventually towards Holcomb, and through northern parts of Dunklin County. The rain and wind and thunder that's happening as you head back towards Knob and Noble, that's not severe. There was a little bit of hail earlier, I think, near Peach Orchard with that, but that has since weakened as well as that continues to move off towards the east. I'll zoom out and we can put this into motion to show you. What it's doing is mainly moving off towards the east now through out of Clay County into northern Dunklin County into New Madrid County. The heavy of this may even stay north of Pemiscot County, so the severe thunderstorm warning does remain in effect for all of Pemiscot and most of Dunklin and even a small part of Mississippi County. But if you live in Mississippi County, the storm should stay to the north of you as that pulls away, kind of now moving towards the east and trying to make a northeasterly jog to it. We do have those thunderstorms continuing down in parts of the White River Basin right now, Batesville, down to south side, Drasco, north sides of Greers Ferry Lake. Those are not severe. Those may have a little bit of thunder and lightning with them, so maybe some gusty winds, but that's about it. And then here in Jonesboro, we are dry. We may get clipped with those showers and thunderstorms back down there coming through Jonesboro a little bit later. But for the most part, we should stay mostly, the severe weather should stay off towards the north this morning.
Yeah, Aaron, that area of rotation in Clay County still there, but not impressive at all. If you look at Max 2 right now, I'm showing some somewhat strong winds coming south of Paragould and a pretty elongated area of outbound winds. So there is winds going in different directions, but it's so stretched out. We're not seeing anything tightly compacted through there that would cause concern. Like you said a minute ago, this expires at 7:30, so I anticipate us sticking with this until 7:30, just in case, and to kind of give people an idea of what's going on this morning. And then we will probably rejoin regular program. That severe thunderstorm warning is going to continue for the Boot Hill. Corning is in the clear this morning. Paragould is good. Pocahontas, evening shade up to Salem. We're going to regain, hold on one second, looking at some of the pictures. We're going to regroup after the coverage and start digging into damage mode. I'm getting pictures coming in of main transmission lines out around the Sellsville area, a major transmission line. So that's what's causing all the power problems through there. So that's all the power issues that we have back in Baxter County. Back to the storm at hand. If you notice, let me widen out here and play this. And I'm going to back this up really the last hour. And you can get an idea that this is shrinking down also. Notice how it's shrinking down and moving on out. So we're definitely on winding down here on this storm that's passing through. We're going to continue with the severe thunderstorm warning, Dunklin County, Pemiscot County, officially a little part of Mississippi County, but I don't think Mississippi County is going to get any impact on this. The rotation that prompted the tornado warning is still right here, but not really worried about it either.
No, it looks like that's not starting to broaden out and become more of a straight line wind kind of thing, and those winds don't look terribly strong, as not as strong as we saw a little bit earlier back towards Cherokee
Right.
Village and everything. But yeah, this storm continues it's continuing to die out as it moves off towards the east. Most of this, as it pushes out of Clay and Dunklin counties, moving out of Region 8. This should stay over northern Pemoscott County, probably north of Caruthersville. And then we just have those spotty storms back down towards the south and west as you head back towards Batesville. But even those storms, you put on the lightning. There's not a ton of lightning with those storms this morning. There's a little bit of lightning, but it's not a ton of lightning, so that's some good news. I'm not seeing those storms really build up into much of anything. Just some heavy showers at times, some downpours. Got a downpour that's over towards Sulphur Rock, south side, back over towards Drasco and Concord, and north of Heber Springs and north of the lake. There was some heavy rains this morning at times, and it doesn't last too long. And then you have this storm that continues to move towards the east. Still, the tornado warning has been canceled, it looks like. So now we just have a severe thunderstorm warning for Clay, Greene, and Dunklin and Pemoscott counties in Mississippi County, but really for Dunklin, Clay, and Pemoscott out there this morning. So
I'll tell you, I think, Aaron, we'll continue to monitor it behind the scenes, but we haven't had any damage reports in the last little bit. The tornado warning has been dropped. Severe thunderstorm warning is going to continue for the Boot Hill as it moves out of Pigot. I think we're probably about to, unless you see something, rejoin regular programming.
No, I think we, with this storm weakening up here, with the storms down south aren't too impressive. This is becoming more of a heavy rain wind threat through Dunklin County, with the strongest winds starting to now move into northern parts of Pemoscott into southern New Madrid County. So it's 7:18 this morning, and we have damage across a good portion of Region 8 this morning, especially out west. And we're going to work to get you more details on that. And I think right now it's a good time to regroup and send it back to regular programming, Ryan. If that's if you're on the same page with me this morning. So for Chief Meteorologist Ryan Vaughn, I'm Meteorologist Aaron Castleberry. We're going to go back to regular programming, and if we have to break back in this morning, we will, and we'll regroup for storms later on tonight.